Hello, everybody. Welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I am building a green suburban. I was going to do a build challenge that was populated by James Turner's website, and then I got a closer look at it and I felt like it was a little bit inappropriate for this channel. Initially, it looked fine, but it involved the children and liking something that was kind of inappropriate. Anyway, so my build is a little green suburban. I did look on Pinterest for a building idea for a green suburban, and this kind of mimics it a little bit. Um, it's a tad bit different, but I also made it like a grandmother's house. And part of the challenge that was generated by James Turner's website was an elder and a child. And I was like, okay, so I'm going to kind of make a grandmother and granddaughter's house. So it's kind of like a cottagey, green suburban country feel to it. And we'll see in the wallpaper what I started out with. And I was like, I don't think I can do this with the entire house. So I changed it just a hair. So right now we're working on the outside, and I couldn't decide how far out I was wanting the kitchen and dining room area, because that's where that window is at. But I was like, I'll just do it like I normally do it and not overthink it. So that's what I did. And I think building this house was relatively easy. It's probably one of the easiest ones that I've done besides downloading shells off the gallery. And I was just trying to see what it would look like all the way around. And I was wanting to use smaller windows instead of the bigger windows because I felt like it fit just a little bit better. And now looking at it, I forgot to put something on the outside. You'll never guess what it is. Actually, technically, I forgot two items. So I'll let you figure out what that is. And I wanted to add the flower boxes because I felt like it gave it a little extra touch. And so instead of just building a green suburban, I made the entire build mostly green, except for one room, which is the granddaughter's house. Because in my mind, this granddaughter, she's okay with green, but she doesn't love the color green like her grandmother does. So her grandmother let her decorate her house or her room however she wanted to. And I decided that I didn't really want outdoor activities. I just wanted like a garden area, which I don't even call it a garden because there's no planters. There's just a bunch of almost like weeds and wildflowers. And I was trying to do a little whoop-de-whoop. Actually, I don't know what it's called. A little swoop. And it just would not work. And it didn't work in my mind. So I just had to, you know, do what I could. And I did put the fences off balance because I kind of like that look. And I think it worked out for the best. Like, even at my grandfather and grandmother's house, there really wasn't much of like outdoor activities except for a little playground, but we really didn't play much on it. We just played with the animals and played pretend or whatever and rode bikes. Maybe we did whenever we were smaller, but I don't really remember that. So as you can see, it quickly cut out the landscaping process because I was on the phone at the time and I forgot to hit record. So this is just what it is. And this was like a bunch of trial and error because I felt like it was a little too uniform for like out in the country and stuff, but I think overall it'll be all right. And the other part of the challenge that I didn't do was that this like they're afraid of fences and trash cans. So I was like, well, that kind of negates everything. I was gonna build it into it saying like they have to deal with their fears, you know? But it's okay. It didn't work out that way. And I'm always hesitant for landscaping because I I don't know how to landscape very well. And I know you have to work your way out, like work your way out small and then make it big, but yeah, I don't know. So I just put like a bunch of greenery on the left hand side of the house, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with that other side. Then I was like, "Oh, I can make, like, a little driveway." And so that's kinda what I did. And here in a minute, you'll see that I was struggling trying to find a car, and it's gonna stop because I just kept scrolling and scrolling, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I couldn't find it. I was gonna cut this little part out, but I felt like it was kinda relevant. And, of course, you can't really sort through debug, so you just have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and if you're lucky, you hit the right one. I did not, and I never did. So, I ended up just downloading a car from the gallery because I read that you could do that, and I had a little green Jeep. It was actually the first one that I saw, so I grabbed it and went for it, which you'll see here in just a moment. Here we are. There's a green Jeep. Well, actually, I call it a green Jeep. It could be something else. So this house is a two-bedroom, one bath, and it's a kitchen, there's a dining room. That one's all in one. And I wasn't sure if this was all gonna fit together. And I didn't play test this, but you guys are more than welcome to. The other part of the challenge that I forgot about until just now was I forgot to add cat stuff because that was also part of the challenge. It's like an elder, a granddaughter, and a cat. I did not do that. I forgot to do that. So, I mean, feel free to add a cat, I guess. And I couldn't decide what kind of table I wanted. I didn't want it to blend in with the flooring, and I didn't really want just a plain Jane boring one. So I got one with a tablecloth that had the little forest creatures on it. I was like, "Oh, man, that'd be really cool for wallpaper." And I think it looked overall okay, but I couldn't make myself use the wallpaper for the rest of the house because it just wasn't going to look right at all. So I changed it a little bit later on to make it look decent. And there's not a whole lot of modern features. I didn't really decorate the kitchen. I could have, but I didn't. I mean, you're more than welcome to do so. Make it your own. Have fun with it. So I changed the wallpaper to that green and kind of a gray blue color, but I used accents again of green because the grandmother loves green. And I guess it's like green and cream in a way. And I I just thought it looked really nice together. So I tried to fill it as much as I could, and I always struggle with putting the paintings and stuff on the wall. I just I guess in real life, I really don't have a whole lot of paintings on the wall, so it's kind of hard to pick those out. So I often just leave them blank or fill them if I absolutely have to, because otherwise it looks kind of like a hospital, I guess. It's like really clean. But my goal was to kind of make it cluttered. And I really like that green plant. I really do. That's why I use it a lot. And so here in a minute, we're gonna go upstairs and you'll see. And I forgot that I had to add a bathroom, right? So it's like the world's smallest bathroom. Well, actually, it's not the world's smallest bathroom, but it it's very small, but it's enough for two people. There doesn't need to be like ensuite bathroom for two people. And plus, this is supposed to be like a country grandma-esque bathroom, but let's say grandma had it remodeled and still keeping the core features, but just a little bit more upgraded. Maybe one day she'll give this to her granddaughter. Who knows? And see, her granddaughter doesn't like pink or doesn't like green, so she wanted everything pink. And I mean, she tolerates green. She doesn't hate it, but not like her grandmother. But of course, it's very Elphaba and Glenda. I wasn't trying to do that, but that's just how it worked out. And there's some mix match of patterns, and I was just trying to have fun with it and not stress too much about it because overall, I just wanted to have fun. But we're nearing the end of the video. If you like it, please give it a like, subscribe, do all those fun YouTube things, comment down below what was your favorite part, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.